What is going on, everybody? Chris here, and today we're going to be installing a rear camera washer for the Tesla Cybertruck, which is pretty crazy. This thing is awesome, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to do it, especially because I think Tesla should have done this from the factory. They have a front camera washer, which I don't know if I've ever needed or maybe needed once, and they don't have a rear camera washer when yeah, okay, maybe you don't always need your rear camera, but in the Cybertruck, this is also your rear view mirror. So as you're driving or backing up or whatever you're doing, if this is covered, which for me happens decently often, then you don't have a rear view mirror anymore. So if it's raining or muddy or snowing, this camera is going to get covered up. And yeah, you can manually wipe it off, but not when you're driving, obviously. So I do, when I get out of the truck, I will walk by and just do that. And that's good enough. I mean, that'll clean it off. All I need, but if it happens while I'm driving, there's no option. Well, now with this aftermarket kit, there is. So this is from ClearVue. They teamed up with Test Bros. I don't know the details exactly, but I do want to say Test Bros did send this out to me, but this isn't any kind of like collaboration, at least that I think. So I DM'd Test Bros and I was like, hey, what's the details on your rear camera cleaner kit? I really want to get it. Like, what's the price going to be and whatever. And they're like, oh, we're just going to send you one. Just go ahead and try it out and let us know. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I don't have any discount codes, or I mean, at least as of right now, I don't have discount codes. There's no affiliate link or anything. This is a product I wanted. They happened to send it out to me, and it actually did have a problem, so I'm glad I'm one of the first ones. So they're going to fix that problem, and it'll be all good, hopefully for you, if you decide you want to do this. So I do want to talk about the install in this intro really quick, and I do have all the install details and everything. I did have some problems, but they were mostly my issues, I think. Overall, this install is pretty intimidating because number one, you got to take apart a lot of things. And number two, you have to drill a hole through the stainless steel in your Cybertruck. So you got to drill a hole through the stainless steel. And that's like a big deal in my opinion. And if you're not comfortable, you don't want to do that, then this install just isn't for you. If you are okay doing that because you really want this like I did, it's really not a big deal. All of these things, each step is pretty simple, and in my opinion, it's very doable. If you've taken apart Teslas in the past, like taking the frunk out to do the auto frunk, or taking your screen off to do, some of that stuff to mod your screen in your Model 3 or Model Y or whatever, this is gonna have a lot of similarities to that, and I think you'll be good to go. I watched the Test Bros install video, I think twice, and then I did like 99% of this from memory. So if you want to do it, watch mine. I think I did some more details for you and found some other shortcuts and stuff that I think a pro installer maybe doesn't think is a big deal, but a novice installer like me ran into some problems, but was able to overcome those. Just watch this a bunch of times and then do it, and I think you'll be good. So my opinion, after doing the install and having it working now, this is definitely worth it. This thing is awesome. It works so well to clean the camera off. It is just great. In the middle of the install, it was a little difficult and a little intimidating, especially before the install, it was a little intimidating. But again, now that it's done, I'm really happy to have it. So let me show you the rear view camera cleaner first. We can check it out, and then I'll have the install after this. This video is brought to you by Joa, my choice for premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your exclusive discount with the link in the description below. Okay, so as you can see, I have you zoomed in on the rear camera cleaner. And you're not going to see what I'm doing here, but I go into the car and I use the front camera cleaner. I just push it once, and there you go. You can see that the camera got cleaned off. It works really well. I didn't even install it perfectly. I'm off to the left just a tiny bit, and it works great to clean that camera off. I talk about the blue stuff down there later. I don't think it's a big deal, but I do mention that. Now let me show you how this works in the car, because this is one of my favorite parts. It's very much like Tesla installed this. It's very stock. You don't have any weird switches or buttons or anything. You literally use the built-in button for your front camera cleaner. So you can't see the front and back cameras at the same time, but I'll click this and then switch to the back. You can see it got cleaned off and it's ready to go. All right, let's say you're driving down the road and ketchup smear all over your camera. You can't see anything because there's ketchup everywhere. What are you going to do? Well, in the old Cybertruck, nothing. You'd have to pull over to take care of that. But in the new and improved Cybertruck, we can fix it. So we'll go here, press the wash, and blam, we still got a little ketchup there. Let's clean it off. Oh yeah, we're good to go now. All right, a ketchup attack wasn't enough. Whipped cream right on your rear camera. You can't see anything, dude. This is insane. What are you gonna do? Well, in the old Cybertruck, this is what you were stuck with. Now, wash that baby off. You can see, you keep driving. You don't need to pull over. And finally, one of the worst substances known to man. Mustard. This one might not come off. Oh, you got some mustard? In the old Cybertruck, you got to pull over, but not the new one. You spray that. How did it do? Oh, we still got some more? Just spray it again, dude. Oh, you still got some more? Just spray it again, dude. All right, mustard defeated us, but we can still see. Not bad, actually. It's better than it was, so. All right, so I have everything laid out on the table to show you, but I'm gonna have to move this, and I'll explain why in a second. So you're gonna need 10 millimeter and 8 millimeter. Now I couldn't find my 8 millimeter. This is 5/16. That will work just as well. This has a Torx bit. This is T30. So the little star, I have a T30, and then it has the hole in it. You don't need that, but you know, it's good to have those. I have my other ones here. We shouldn't need any of those, but I did find that the 40 also fit in the same spot. So I'm not sure if 30 is the right one, but that's what we're gonna use. Electrical tape, WD-40, a wire puller. You probably don't need that. I'm gonna say you need this. It'll make it a lot easier. I almost didn't. I bought it just for this. I almost didn't, but I think it'll make it a lot easier. This is to cut the tubing. You could, you know, use scissors. I might grab scissors for that, but that's what I have for now. Trim removal tool. Drill, of course, with a battery. Mine's still plugged in. I have these magnets. I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, but I think that I will put these under where I'm going to be drilling to try to catch the metal shavings as I drill. I think that might work. And then I got new drill bits. They recommend that you get cobalt. These are brand new. I didn't have these before, and it's recommended you get brand new ones and then you get cobalt. So we'll use the smallest one, and then I think next is 5/16. I'll double check with the video, but I think that's the size. And then here is the kit for the install. You have everything you need other than your tools to actually do the job. So this will guide you on where to drill, so where to put the drill hole. You know, it's kind of scary to drill into the stainless steel on your Cybertruck. Like, you don't want to ruin it or anything. But at the same time, if something goes like super wrong, I'm sure you could get that part replaced by a Tesla for not too much. I had this, if you know, I had the sail, the side of the bed piece. That's the largest piece of stainless steel, and the part is about $1,700 and labor was about $1,000, so $2,700. So hopefully it wouldn't cost that much for this back piece, but I guess you never know if it's harder to take apart. So that's your drill guide. This is your T, which you'll need to get the washer fluid from the front, because we're going to take it basically from the front camera, which is a great idea. This thing is cool once it's installed. And then this is the actual washer. So let me get it out here. So this is what will go through the hole and point at your camera and blast all the dirt off. All right, so first up, we're going into the front here. Get all of this prepared. We won't need to do anything up here yet. But if I would say I've watched this video a few times now, so you can use your trim removal tool. This comes off like way easier than I thought. If you've done other stuff in your Teslas, I think you're a little more prepared for this. Like if you've removed the screen in your 3RY or done like the automatic frunk in other Teslas, I think that you'll be pretty prepared for this. But we'll see. So you take these off, and then these are 10 millimeter right here. This is probably not fully recommended, but wow, it's really in there. I'm gonna try to save a little bit of time here and get these out. And then this part, you can basically just rip off. I mean, you know, be gentle, I guess, but you should be able to. I've actually already done this before. I'm gonna leave my fumbling in here so you can see kind of what I'm doing. There you go. So that comes off. Make sure you don't pull this piece off. And just like other Teslas, you should be able to just pull that off. There you go. And then unlike other Teslas, there's a couple more of these 10 mils. 10 mils, talking like I'm in the lab. 10 milliliters, 10 millimeters. 1 and 2. I'm sure you'll see them. Anything that's like crazy weird, I'll definitely show you close-ups, but there's one here and one here. Now this is getting a little stuck. In the Test Bros video, G tells you he just takes this off. Wow, that does come like right off. So that's cool. The whole lid is just like, it's all one piece, so you can literally just pull that out. Tesla is really good about making stuff pretty like fixable and move aroundable. G also took these out. I don't know why. I don't know if they're connected to anything, or maybe he just didn't want to lose them. Let's see if I just pull on this. Yeah, it looks like it is connected. So you should be able to just fiddle this out. So it takes a little bit of twisting. It's definitely locked in there. But yeah, you can see these kind of lock in there. Like you'd put it back and twist it to lock it. But I just fiddle. I've never done that before. All I did was jiggle it and it came right out. So cool. And then there's one on the other side. Just like, again, all the other Teslas, you got to do that button. And you just be careful. And you unhook this. So if I go over here, oh yeah, you got a little bit of slack. And then don't pull on the wires. There's a piece of plastic there. I took a picture for you. That's what it looks like. And I think you just pull back. So I did use some pliers to get a better grip on the plastic part. Do not pull on the wires. There's no clips or anything on that specific one. So you just pull back. All right, cool. So frunk is out. It was very easy. I left all the bolts and stuff just in the frunk. As long as you don't knock it over or spill it, that should be fine. And then if we look over here, okay, so this is our line right here for the washer fluid. And so not now, but later we're gonna take this out and put the T in there and stuff. But they said that not everybody has this, so you may have to cut here. I don't know. I have it, so there you go. That's what mine looks like. All right, I think this is next, the fender flare. So you literally could just yank this right off. Now, I watched the Test Bros video like twice, and I'm doing this mostly from memory, so I may check in with it again, but let's see. Ooh, that's harder. He made it look a lot easier. And the thing is with these guys that are always installing stuff all the time, their parts become loose like this over time, and it's easier for them to do this stuff because they've done it 10 times. So for us, who it's maybe the one and only time, it's harder. There you go. So it was easier for me to start it there. There, now that I have a little bit of off, it's a lot easier. You can hear stuff in there, like rocks or something. Okay, and then remember you have your camera here, so I'm being really careful not to pull that too hard. I'm trying to get this off though. There you go. So that's all off, and then we need to be really careful with our camera here. And we could just flip that. There you go, hopefully you could see good enough. All right, so this is pretty easy to flip. Of course, be careful. It'd be nice if you had a second person for this. But I'm pretty sure you push down on this, and then it comes out. Okay, so it finally came out. So I was just being super careful. I don't want to break that, of course, because that probably would be expensive, at least a couple $100. But let's see if I can show you. If you look here, you literally push down on this piece. It barely moves, and then you just keep wiggling until it comes out. Just be gentle, and that's it. And then you need to remove all these bolts. No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't joke around. You don't need to remove any of those bolts, but we are gonna remove these clips here, which are just the little push pins, and that's so we can open this up and get in there to route the line, the tubing. Now in this front fender, you only gotta remove a few of them. I will show you what to do on here. Again, this is where I'm saying, like, if you've done any of this kind of stuff on your Tesla, and, you know, maybe other cars, I never worked much on other cars, you're going to be good because you already know what this is. You already know what to do with this. But if you don't, when you look at it under there, it's going to be like this. They have specific tools for this, but you can just use a flathead screwdriver or whatever. You put this under here, and you got to work it up. This now makes it loose, and you can just pull it out. That's it. So save these because we're going to put them back. Okay, so you can see this is all loose. And we're gonna, oh, there's noise dampening there, awesome. We're gonna route all the way from the back and up here and into the front. All right, same idea with the back one, except, oh, that one came off a little easier, because I knew what I was doing. Except there's no camera on this one, so literally just go ham, rip this thing off with no regard. No, I'm just kidding, be a little gentle, but you can see I've never done that before. I literally just ripped it off and I'm done. So that's it, there, that one's ready. Man, there's really like not much dirt at all in here. I would think this was just full, caked with mud, but that's good. So then we gotta, again, take the clips out. This one, we're gonna take all the clips out because you are gonna be routing from here all the way to the front here. All right, well, if you thought all of that was difficult, I have bad news because that was the easy part. Now we're getting into the slightly harder part. I mean, if you can take this stuff apart, it should be okay. So I'm getting ready to start the hole, but personally, I'm not putting a hole here until I get the whole tube routed and make sure I can do all that. I think drilling the hole is the hardest part, so it should be fine, but I don't want to put a hole here and something else happens and I'm like, oh crap, I can't do this. Now I have a hole for no reason. So I'm just cleaning off this little area so that I can tape up the guides. This is your little guide. You put it here and you just line it up. It's the same shape. You line up the triangle to the triangle there. There you go, how's that? So you push this little card back, basically as far back as you can, and you line up the lines. So you have a line on this top card and a line on this bottom card. This is so cool. And then it tells you to drill there. So you can either mark it with a marker or you can just start the hole. So I don't have my WD-40, so hold on. All right, so personally what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start the hole because I'm 99% sure this is happening. But if for some reason I can't do what I wanna do and I can't do the full hole, I'm getting this thing wrapped tomorrow. So I don't think a low hole is gonna hurt. And like, who cares? Come on. All right, so I This is hard. I guess you could tape this bottom card on too, but I'm not gonna. But you should. All right, I did it. I used the electrical tape to line that up. I'm trying to make a slightly instructional video for you here, so I want to set a good example. And then you just gotta make sure you're lined up pretty good here. Ooh, so you can see my drill moved that whole card, but I'm gonna assume that my drill didn't move, just the paper moved. So let me take this out. All right, so everything is lined up. Yeah, remove that little hole out of there first so your paper doesn't move. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Man, my drill is really traveling. Woo! All right, I'm having a hard time. The drill just wants to move, so I want to get some glasses, and give me 1 second here. All right, so I want to show you here really quick how it traveled. You can see that I scratched up the steel there. Again, for me, especially since I'm getting wrapped, not that big of a deal, and I'm going through with this, so I think it'll be fine, but I just want you to know that's a possibility. And my drill is still traveling, so I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get it to not move. This is where people who do this stuff all the time will know exactly what to do, but I'll figure it out. All right, here we go, baby. So what I figured out, and again, if you do this stuff all the time, you'd be like, duh, is, see, now I got a little divot here, so I know exactly where it is. That's exactly what I want, is this little divot, so when I come with the bigger drill, I can just put the big drill there and finish the hole. But what I did is I put this on here, and I just went super slow like this. Like that slow. And then the drill didn't move. Now, you can see the drill is still not moving. So that works out pretty good. And then I think we got a little hole there. So, I mean, not all the way through, obviously, but we just need a little indentation to basically show us where to put the bigger drill bit. Yeah, so if I feel that, I can feel a little hole there. I might do a little more, but let me show you. There you go. So you can see right in the middle there, I have a few scratch marks above it, and then the hole, the tiny little hole right in the middle. So I may get that out just a little bit more, so we're all kind of prepped and ready. But this little guide works great. The biggest thing is make sure you remove the little paper circle in the middle there, because that screwed me up pretty good. But so now if I put this in here, it should go, yep, it goes right in that hole. See how I can't even move around? If I put it here and I wiggle, see how it slides off? See how it's sliding around? If I put it right here and I get it in that hole, it's not sliding around anywhere. All right, now you've probably been wondering why I've been working in this cramped garage. You're about to find out. So you are gonna need something to hold the tailgate up. For me, this table works perfectly. Look at that. Clunk fits right there. So that's really good. I still have not checked the video. I think I'm doing this all from memory correctly still. So now we're gonna have to take some of this stuff apart, and this is, in my opinion, a slightly harder part and a more risky part, because we're gonna take this whole light bar out. You don't wanna break that. I'm sure that crap's really expensive. And it's probably illegal to drive without it while you wait for it too. So it's not like you can just wait till it's in stock. So we gotta take this top piece off, which funny enough, I've already had this replaced by a Tesla one time. And I think it cost me $40 or something. I have it in another video. But you just take your trim removal tool here and just get at it. So if you pick this up, it should come off of there. Ooh. Now I'm always worried they use some adhesive on this. Oh, there you go. So it clicked right out. Yep, and just keep going. I mean, you gotta put some force behind it, but you don't want to be too, strong arm it too much, because you don't want to break any of those clips. Now, if you break one or two clips, it's probably not gonna hurt anything, but I'd rather break none. There you go. And then as we go, seems like it's becoming a little easier. There you go. And all my clips are intact, so that looks awesome. I'll show it to you real quick. So right here, these are the clips that were coming out, and all of mine are still intact, and I was really not being gentle at all, so it came right off. I mean, geez, I could have left it like that. Looks pretty sweet. Not really. Okay, now we need our star here. We're gonna take these out. So I have this electric screwdriver that'll just make this so much faster. So there's 4 of those. All right, in addition to those 4 top screws, we gotta take off this bolt, I think these are the 8mm. This is the T30. Again, I think that's T40. I think a T40 fits in there, but whatever. And we're gonna take those off, and we'll do both sides. So this is where you're gonna need like this to hold up the tailgate for you. And also when this light comes out, probably best to have another person to get that out and put it off to the side. All right, so these are the 8mm. Sorry, the camera wasn't down far enough. There's two 8mm here, and then it's the same on the other side. We'll take those out, and then we'll take that out too. This is the T30. Oh, cool. It's like kind of locked in there so you won't lose it. All right, now this is probably the scariest part of the whole thing. I'm just gonna take a picture of this for you because it's really hard to get the camera in there. But if you look down in here, there are, I think it's 8, again, T30s. And these are what's holding your tail light in. So we're gonna take those 8 T30s out, and then the tail light's loose. So if you screw this up, the tail light could fall out and break, and that includes your camera and everything. So you don't wanna do that. This is where it might be nice to have a second person. So I'm gonna take all these out, except for all the way to the right and all the way to the left. And then I'll probably take out the left one while this is resting on the table. And then take out the right one, and hopefully Stephanie is home. She needs to leave soon and she can help me kind of get that out. If not, we'll figure it out. All right, so I was having trouble finding something like thin enough to fit in there. So I'm using this 6.5mm to hold my Torx. But it's not tight in there, so if you let it go, it'll fall out. So be careful. But that's all I got. I don't know what else to do. So that's what I'm gonna do for now. Lift all of that up. And I mean, this should work great. I just have to be careful, that's it. Wow, that's not very tight in there at all. I don't know if it's supposed to be tighter, but there you go. And then just don't lose, if I lose that T30, I don't know, it's all over. Oh, interesting stuff back there, okay. Yeah, this one was tighter, so that bolt was a little loose. You're leaving? This is the exact part I need your help.
Okay, well, is it quick?
Nope.
All right, well, there we go.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, there goes Stephanie. That's exactly how that timing would work out. She needs to leave the second I'm ready for her. That's all right. So this is how you do it by yourself. I think it'd be better to have another person here. But again, I have one bolt right here holding this whole light bar in. So like if I pull, yeah, see, it's already loose. Yeah, it's loose right there. So I'm gonna leave this resting on the table, take that bolt out and just see what I can do. Just gotta be careful here. So I gotta pull up on the plastic without the metal coming up. The thing is this plastic attaches basically on its own. So if I do that, that should not help at all. Okay, whatever, let's get this done. We can do it. All right, all the bolts are out. So if I lift this tailgate up, this light bar is just gonna come flying out of here. Oh, look, it's still in there. But that's scary, so I'm gonna leave it there. So if I pick this up, could I just close this and work on it like that? So we're learning together at this exact step here. So let me see. Okay, so it does kind of hold itself in there just a little bit. You gotta wiggle it free, and there we go. All right, cool. So that's pretty good. I can't really set it anywhere. I got to get all this stuff detached. So, oh, look, there you go. Set it up here. All right, so first up, we got this purple clip, and this kind of reminds me of if you've taken the screen out of the Model 3 and Model Y, it looks just like that. That's pretty funny. And then you have a couple clips like this one that are just like physical clips to hold the wire in place. All right, here's the deal. I've been fiddling with that camera connection for a long time. I think I could get it off if I keep trying. But in an attempt to reduce complexity of this and save you a little time, and maybe me, I've wasted a lot of time at this point, I'm gonna try to do this with it right here and not taking it all apart. So I basically took this out. Now it's a little riskier because now you gotta keep moving it and all that. But for now, this is what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna see if I can keep going. And then you don't have to disconnect this. It's just kind of one less step, but you do have to take it out of there and get it out of your way. So let's see if we can do this. It's time to start routing the tube. All right, so here's where the cable puller comes through. So this is hard so that it's easy to push it through different areas. And we're basically gonna go from here-ish over to here and pull it through there to get it up into the back. And then after we got that all established, we'll then pull it all the way through there. And there's one more step that I'm kind of skipping that I think will be awesome to skip, but we'll see if my idea works. I don't know, but that's kind of the point of this tool. We'll see. All right, so first of all right, so let me show you what I did here. This is the wire puller, pushed it in right through here. and it like pretty much directly came right below this airline here. And then you can pull it out, and that's how you can get the tube started. Now, be careful, because I was fishing around in there, and this depends on, you know, what you have exactly. This hook kept getting stuck on stuff. Like, I at one point was like, well, that's going to be in there forever because I can't get it out. But I was eventually able to push it back, get it unhooked, and pull it back out. So careful of that. Oh. Oh. All right, then we can take our hose. I don't think it matters what side. And then tape this on here. You could, I guess, use the little hook function, but I just don't want to ruin the hose. I don't know. Maybe that's dumb, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so that's on there. And then the beauty of this guy is you can put that in there. You don't want it to get caught on anything. You should be able to just pull it right through. I'm sure something will get messed up, but you know, that's how it's supposed to work. Oh my goodness, it worked. It did come off at the end there, but look at that. Enough came through. The first part is routed. I can't believe it. All right, so now that this is here, I want to route it over here. And you can see that there's a hole. Let me turn this flash on for you. This hole right here. So I pulled this through, showed you with the wire puller. And then I'm going to kind of go backwards, but I have enough, so I'm not going to lose it. And I'm going to push it. And you may even be able to see there's a wire down there. So that's our tube, but right under our tube, there's that big fat wire. We kind of want it to go with that. So I'm just going to put it right there. And then I think I can just grab this myself. There you go. So be careful not to get it too caught on anything so it doesn't rip. But okay, so that's through there. And I'm pulling kind of a lot of extra, but that's fine. So that should be enough. And then we're going to route it back through here. All right, so I'm going to put the wire puller in here, the metal thing. And I'm going to get it all the way back there so that I can pull this tubing through and go into that big hole back there. See this big hole? Like right there, that huge hole. So I'm going to get it into there. And then in this area, there's another hole leading to that so that it can come out into the channeling there. So basically just use the wire puller to get it where you need it to go. All right. That part was no fun. I've probably been doing that for like 30 minutes, but we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. So there's the tube. Holy crap, let me show you. So remember, we fished it through there into here. And then if you look down, like I said, you can see, can't see it now, but once I push this down, this is getting pinched a little bit, but it'll be down in there, so that won't happen. If I move this, there's a big fat wire you can see right there. That's a big fat wire. So we basically had it go in the same spot. Now to do that, we fished it through there. So I put the fish all the way through that bottom like rectangle hole, and you just don't have a lot of room to work with when you're over here. So you can see the line, you can get your tube down in there, but how the heck do you attach the tube to your, cable here? So what I did is I stuck a flathead screwdriver down in there. So like this little thing is down in there. This is about all you can fit. And I just twisted this. And because everything's so tight, this line doesn't move. But I twisted this, opened up this loop. So this loop got open, and I stuck the tube in there, and then it tightened back down. Now once I tried to pull this back out, this was stuck on something. So it took me forever to just get this thing pulled back out of here. Holy crap. I think that was probably the hardest part so far. I think that should probably be the only difficult part for us. But yeah, there you go. So we got it through. So now, I guess since I have you here, we'll put it through like one of these holes, I think, yeah. Yeah, those holes go right into where we want to go. And so we'll take it, let's see. Yeah, so we'll take it right into one of these two holes and we'll be good. All right, now that we got all that done, holy moly. This cable, or tubing, I should say, of course has to get all the way to the front of the car. So this is why we took all these out. You can route it through here, you go down here, and then the idea is you're gonna put it through the rocker panel. Now, what they tell you to do is there's a bunch of bolts down there. You take the bolts off, you stick this up under there, and then you go out the front and you go, just do the same thing in the front, and then you're basically there. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna try, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna try to save you some time and me some time, if it works. And I'm gonna try to take this, you can see I bent it trying to get that out of there. No biggie, that's what it's for. And I'm gonna try to fish this all the way through right there and just pull the line through. So I'll go from the front to the back. So I'm gonna try that. I'm not gonna record it and waste your time. I'll let you know if it worked. Well, unfortunately, my fishing did not work. So you gotta take these off. These are 10 millimeter. And if you're dirty like me, don't get dirt in your eye. All right, here we go. So we'll put this back here, and you can do some zip ties here too, just on the wheel arches to hold it back a little bit. So I'm just zip tying this to whatever I can find back there. I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, plenty of room. It's almost like Tesla thought about doing this themselves, huh? Well, whatever. I'm having fun. I mean, it'll be more fun when it's done. You know, if you do this stuff and it doesn't work, it just makes you mad. But if you do this stuff and it works, then it's fun and you think it's cool. So let's hope it goes that way. So then the whole way down, we could just pull on this and stick it back there. So I'm getting it behind those mounds I showed you a picture of earlier. Maybe I'm showing you another one now. Yeah, and that kind of like locks them in place and they won't get pinched that way. I'll be able to just reach. Look at that, I can just reach through and use my hands as line fishers. All right, so we got our line here. And it's funny because the back is where you need a little less. You're actually gonna cut the back off. So don't do what I did, give yourself way more in the front. Because let's see here, this is where it's gonna attach. Look at that. Actually do exactly what I did because I'm the best. All right, so we can now attach this here. Let's do it. All right, so you got your T-valve. This comes with the kit. And because, like I said, mine is here, I should be able to just pull that off and get sprayed with some washer fluid. Pull this off. And put this here. Of course, make sure you put that on there really good. But you did this, so you could come fix it if you needed to. And just like that, blammers. We are connected to the back. That is crazy. And then this little extra piece, it says Sweden. It was made in Sweden, ITW. I don't know if it's a flow stopper or what it is exactly, but if you're anything like me, you'll save this and then never use it again. All right, so let's get ready to actually check this out and do our first little test here. So because my thing is still connected, in my opinion, I advise just leaving it connected. It's easy enough. We need a lovely assistant to press the button so we can try it out. All right, so Stephanie's hopping in the car. She's gonna go in there. And how you use this is you just press the front camera washer icon and it'll come out of here. So yeah, go ahead. Just push it once real quick. Oh, I felt some air. All right, one more time. Oh, I feel some more air. Obviously this you can do it again. This hose is empty, so you gotta get, and there it is. Wow, that was a lot. So you gotta get the liquid through. So go ahead and do it one more time. Holy moly, that's a lot of washer fluid. Hello. All right, I have no clue where I left off with all this, but we're routed. I know I showed it working. This is the stopper. So this points towards where the liquid is going. So this has a little arrow on it and it points towards where your fluid's gonna come out. Now, I ran into a big problem that you won't run into because I already told them it was a problem. This ain't long enough. So this won't make it over to my drill hole. But I just figured out, I was talking to G from Test Bros and I said, what's the dimensions? Let me go pick this up. So I went to Home Depot and I bought this, which this thing was over $100. Doesn't seem like kind of a ripoff, but I can use it to put this thing back together. And then I went to, they didn't have the tubing. So I went to O'Reilly's, and O'Reilly's, they didn't have, this is interior diameters 3.5 millimeters. They didn't have exactly that, but they had 5/32, and that will fit just fine, like perfectly. So I got 2 more feet, which is more than enough of 5/32, and I can put this tube in here. Actually, it's just ever so slightly bigger, I think. I don't know, I can't remember the math, but obviously that fits on there great, so that'll work no problem. And if we go over here, we have plenty of length now. So right here is where my hole will be, and this is going all the way over here. So I'll have to cut this down, but I got 2 feet just to be safe. Anyway, you won't have to deal with that, but I had to deal with that. So now I didn't even drill the hole yet. So, so now I gotta drill the hole. So let's do that next. All right, I already started. I think I forgot to hit record, but we got 5/16 drill bit here. The little pilot hole I started earlier, I can kind of feel. So, I mean, I've already drilled a little bit, but if I put it over here, it slides around the drill bit. But on that hole, it's kind of stuck in there. So that really does guide me. I am wearing safety glasses as well, so that I don't get the metal shavings in my eyes, because that sounds absolutely awful. And I put these magnets around to try to catch some of the metal shavings. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I did it. I tried to give you a good view, but I need a good view as well. And what they said is you want, speed is not the best. You want more pressure than anything. So I'm trying to kind of push on the drill as I'm going. But I mean, we're definitely making progress. Like, this is just inevitable. It's going to happen. Just going to take a few minutes. I would say this is probably just time consuming and nothing else. And check out those magnets. Can you see it? They are catching the metal shavings. So heck yeah, get some magnets for this. All right, I had stopped recording because I figured you didn't need 10 minutes of me drilling a hole. But we're through. So we made it through, and there you go. So you can see we're through there. And yeah, it took 11 or 12 minutes for me to get through there. I pretty much never stopped. I just put pressure on, and I did get a bunch of WD-40 everywhere. So now the floor is a little slippery, and I have no grip for my feet. So that made it hard to push on the drill. I'm going to clean these up somehow. I'm honestly probably just going to put them in a baggie and throw them away to get rid of that. This was an excellent idea. Imagine all of that. Here, let me zoom in again. Imagine all of that metal just being all over the place. Like, I think this was a great idea. Okay, so good news is the shavings weren't sharp at all, so I was able to just pick it all up, and I just threw those magnets away. That's a great idea, though. I would highly recommend picking up some magnets. So this little thing, I think, goes away from where your camera is. Obviously, your camera's right here. So this is your sprayer, and this, oh, almost dropped it, but this little nut goes on the back of it. So you just push that through, and man, that fits so perfectly. Oh my goodness. One of the things I really like about this is that it looks stock, right? Now, Tesla should have done this crap themselves, but they didn't, so we're fixing it. And then we'll put this nut on back there. I want it to be nice and tight so it won't move around, and that is not going anywhere. Look at that, that's so cool. And then obviously you got to connect this. I already put this in line, so this is to stop leaks. So I'll cut this a little extra to be safe. But I'll cut this and then just push it on there and we'll be good. Is this how you would cut it? Probably not. Probably. Worked freaking great, bro. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt yourself. Oh, don't doubt your vibe. Remember that? All right, and then this should go right on there. All right, so the line is in there. We're good, dude. That's it. We have a freaking washer installed. I can't believe it. So now we're going to go test it one more time. Now I'm by myself, but you'll get to see it, and I'll try to peek it through the camera or something. Yes, I am that dumb. I failed to realize that I didn't reinstall the camera here, so couldn't see it. But I do see blue stuff everywhere, so I'm guessing it worked. All right, so you basically just do everything in reverse order. The first thing I want to do is install my light bar, because my rear tail light, because it's the only sensitive part, and I want to get it in there. So I'll just hand start that, and then we got this bad boy. Let's see how it works. Oh yeah, I don't want to go too hard on that. So there are, let me take a picture here. There are some plastic clips. Again, be really careful that you don't drop your friggin' light bar. I'll try to take a picture of them. But there are some plastic clips right like this that you can see when it's lined up correctly that are coming through. So just putting these bolts in here. Again, I'm just going to hand tighten them to start. All right, then next I'm going to put these little bolts here that went in the side here. And then I'll do this. And tailgate will be pretty much cleaned up. All right, we got all those bolts in. Next is this top piece, which, geez, I can't even tell which way it goes here. All those clips are lining up, so I'm guessing it's this way. And then again, just Don't want to hurt anything, but make sure these clips are lining up. Yep, all the clips look good. Don't hurt anything. And then smash it into the ground. First, you got to put the little pop clips back in. Just make sure they're open. And then shove them in there. That's it. Anywhere where they were. All right, once all those clips are in, you just slap this on. I'm sure it lines up in some way, but I don't know. I've never done it before. So let's just shove it on there. Look at that. That's it. I mean, literally that's it. I've never done that in my life. And I just pushed it on there. So very simple. Same thing for the front. You got to do all the pushers back in there. Let's see. Yep, only pops on one way. That's it, it's on. Now, that might not work right away. You might have to go reset your stuff in service mode. But if you wait, it should come back eventually. I don't know how long, but we don't have autopilot or full self-driving, so who cares? It doesn't even matter. All right, and same thing with the back. I don't know, there you go. Shoving it on there. We are almost done. We just gotta put the front back. Line this up, kind of, but just look at that. It just dropped into place, right? All right, so you can't just drop it in there. You gotta connect this button, which will just slide right in very easily. That is the easiest thing I've ever done. I legit could see forgetting these, so I'm gonna immediately tighten these after I put them in. Guess we could put these in. Just your front stoppers. Yep, you just jiggle it, I don't know. It just goes in there, I'm freaking tired. It won't take you as long. You won't have to run to the store like me. You will avoid all my mistakes. It'll be great. Put this up. This literally, again, just slaps into place. You know, this is great. I think some people may look at that initially and be like, oh, just a bunch of clips and stuff. But you know what? Tesla does a pretty good job of making the stuff repairable, take apartable, and all that. So I do appreciate that. And they have this gasket here to, I guess, try to keep water out of there. I would guess that doesn't work that well, but whatever. I mean, everything in there looks good for now. Just make sure it's lined up, unlike me, before you start slamming. There you go. Oh yeah, that gasket really does. Yeah, make sure this gasket is under. So you got one on the hood or on the windshield here, and then this one below it is part of the frunk. So make sure this is under here, so water is getting channeled correctly. All right, so it's time for the final test. You can probably tell it's a lot later in the day. I've changed clothes and everything. I had an issue, so it was working. I tested it several times. I put some stuff back together, tested it again, it was working. I put everything back together, and then it wasn't working. And it's because when I put this bar back, the tail light, it pinched the tubing in there. And I went to go take it apart, and it's a really long story, but I basically stripped one of the bolts, one of the T30s. And I went on this epic adventure for hours to get it out. And I ended up going to my neighbor's. Huge shout out to Jeff. He helped me. We basically just cut in the bolt and then unscrewed it with a flathead. So that bolt, RIP. But we're all good now. It was pinched behind this light. So check a bajillion times. I mean, I did. I was going to say check a bunch of times before you put everything back together that it's working. But I did check a bunch of times that it was still working as I put stuff back together, and I still ran into that issue. I don't think anyone's going to have that problem. It was again, it was a really weird series of events that led to that. I don't know. I'll tell you the story another time if you want. But it got stripped. Now it's all better. So you can see here, we're all back together. If I take this down, there's some of the tools. I was just over there. By the way, outlet came in handy. I can close that. We use that for his tool that we use to get rid of that bolt. But it's under there. You can't tell that that's gone. So let's see it. Let's see the final result in action with everything put back together, and we'll talk about all of this as well. So what you do is you use your front sprayer and it sprays. Now, unfortunately, there's no situation where you can see the front and back sprayer at the same time, or front and back camera. But if I click this and then click this, you can see that it got cleaned off and it works so well. I'm so excited. Let's check it from the outside. All right, so I'm in the car. I'm gonna press it. And you can see a lot comes out and it sprays all over that. Even though I didn't get it perfectly on there, it is kind of annoying that it's not perfectly center, but what do I care? It works. That's the point. I want a working sprayer that's going to wash off my camera, and this definitely does it. All right, so quickly, let's talk about this situation because I think a lot of people are like, what the heck? First of all, it's dirty Tesla, man. Come on. I like this blue stuff all over the place. What do I care? I'm half kidding. You got to keep in mind, I have a ton of WD-40 all over this area too. So it looks kind of thick. I think it's like mixing with the WD-40. And it's also all like kind of resting on my bumper here. There's a decent amount. Oh yeah, that's a lot of WD-40. There's a decent amount of liquid resting there. Maybe that's part of why Tesla didn't put this here. Maybe, I don't know, they could have slowed that down, of course, if that was, part of their thinking. Keep in mind, I've been testing this all day. I've probably pressed this button like 10 or 12 times. And so this is a lot going on here. And you won't be using it that much normally. You'll just use it, every once in a while when you need it. And again, if you need it, if you're driving and there's snow on your camera and you got to clean it off to see, or, it's dirty because it's raining and you dirt roads or whatever, you're going to want to use it. Who cares about that stuff? It's going to be covered in snow and dirt and rain and mud anyway. So it's not really going to matter. On top of that, you could ceramic coat this area or the whole back here. You could put PPF on it. You could put some stuff. So again, I'm getting this wrapped tomorrow. And so either I'll have them ceramic coated or I'll just do it myself if they're going to charge me because I am paying for that. It's way too expensive. And then that'll at least have it wash off and you could, wipe it off if you want. I don't care. This is what I want, but that'll happen and something you got to think about. So again, little off center, but it works perfectly well. So if you have questions about the install, leave them down below. Like I said, pretty straightforward. If you've taken Teslas apart before, this I think will be actually pretty simple for you. It's just, you got to drill into the stainless steel and stuff. So I get it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next, you'll see me in the next video.